Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your June 2019 reading. This is more of a traditional spread. These cards here are the energies that we're letting go of, and this is a primary energy and a supporting energy, the Sun and the Five of Pentacles. And these cards are what is coming in, the High Priestess, and the supporting card is the Seven of Swords. So I'm going to look at those four energies first, then we're going to look at love, career and money, health, messages from the soul, and we've got an angel card and a healing crystal card as well. So let's get straight into the energies that are now leaving you, which is the Sun card and the Five of Pentacles. Now, in the Sun card, we meet Apollo, the god of healing and light. These are the Greek mythic tarot cards, so stories of the Greek myths and mythological gods will be coming in. Now, Apollo represents happiness. Happiness, trying to find happiness within a difficult situation, which is the Five of Pentacles, is feeling like you don't have enough money. It's feeling like you have to leave a situation. It might be a job loss. It might have been around having to start anew. The Five of Pentacles is really about feeling like you have to leave a situation that is not working for you, that there is not enough money, that you're leaving the security behind and you're stepping into the unknown. And so what is the energy that's coming in is the High Priestess and the Seven of Swords. So we've gone from that trying to find happiness within a difficult situation to stepping straight into this High Priestess energy, which is around fertility, a situation. Here we meet Persephone, the queen of the underworld. And the story of Persephone is that she was a young maiden, and she's the daughter of Demeter, the earth mother, the goddess of the seasons. She was playing in the fields one day when the lord of the underworld fell in love with her, was overcome with lust, and abducted her into his dark world, the underworld. And she bit the pomegranate that she's holding in her hand, and therefore became queen of the underworld. And her mother mourned her for a very long time and did a deal in that Persephone gets to come up to the surface and live with her mother for 9 months of the year, and for 3 months of the year she goes down into the underworld. And in those 3 months of the year she lives with Hades, the lord of the underworld. Is when winter comes, is when the earth mother mourns and everything dies and ice is over. And then when Persephone comes back out, it's spring. The buds start coming back again. And the message of that really is that Persephone cannot tell the stories, that she has to hold the secrets of the dead. The underworld represents the place that people go when they die, or that shadowy realm where there's creativity, there's unformed potential, there's all those parts of you that haven't bubbled up to the surface yet. And Persephone holds those secrets and can't tell anyone what those secrets are. And she's holding on to the narcissist flowers that are all falling down around her, but she's clutching onto some of them. And she's divinely, ultimately guided by her intuition within this shadowy realm, that she can basically travel between the conscious and the unconscious. And so it's interesting that we have the Seven of Swords, which is also set in at night in the shadowy realms. We can see the shadows of the swords, and the energy that's coming in is really around the Seven of Swords, is that there is something that needs to be done, that needs to be an action that needs to be taken in your life, Taurus, that needs to be done under the cloak of darkness, under the guise of discretion, it's a necessary action in order to move forward in your life. And the High Priestess coming in, it's about understanding the cycles, and that where you're at the moment might feel like a shadowy dark place, but it's laden with possibilities. And the fact that the high priestess is coming up is she's going from that naive young woman to being becoming going into maturity. It's leaving a naive idea behind, and it's being able to look at the reality of a situation and being able to truly know what it is that you need to do. But there's this real element of secrecy around it, of mystery, of facing the mysteries of life, if this is making any sense to you guys, in that it's actually really coming face to face with the shadowy nature of yourself and what lies beneath and what lies within. And it's not, it sounds scary. It does sound scary going into the underworld. And the reason the underworld is scary for people is because it's the unknown. They don't know what's in there. But the message mostly is that your intuition will guide you. You will be guided by that. And Persephone holds the pomegranate, and the pomegranate has the seeds. It has a lot of seeds in it, so there's a lot of fertility. The seeds haven't come to fruition. They haven't turned into anything yet. So it's really looking at things within your life that have been remained hidden, possibilities, unique gifts, ideas, dreams that have remained hidden that will be coming up in sort of a message that's not overly obvious. It's, as we said, we've got the Seven of Swords. There's discretion. Something's being cloaked here. The thoughts are being cloaked. So it's a case of either you're cloaking your thoughts because you're really trying to understand what they mean before you can kind of express it out in the world. And there's also a sense of what this is actually being cloaked from you, that it's stirring within and you can feel that energy of it within you. But it's like it's a dream, it's a stirrings of a potential. There's a fertile seed that's about to be born, about to give birth inside you, but you don't know what that is yet. And so it's sort of still lurking in those shadowy realms, even though it's laden with fertility. So, interesting, interesting reading for you guys, Taurus, so far. Let's look at the love. Let's look at your love and relationships. Oops, I think I just banged the computer. Apologies about that. So this is presenting as the main person in the relationship, and it could be you. These can be reversed, and this is the other person, and this is the underlying energy. Now, it's interesting. The underlying energy here, we meet the Lord of the Underworld, Hades, who we were just talking about, the god himself, who is married to Persephone. So we have a marriage of sorts here. And it's interesting that, what was leaving was the light, the sun, everything that seems on the surface, all those like kind of immediate, uh, like material worries, like money and finances and career. That's sort of leaving, and we're now going into this sort of deeper world this month. We're going deeper down. And with the death card, with Hades coming in on a relationship level, something has ended. Something is transforming and ending. And it almost feels like for me, because we're in these interesting underworld realms, it's almost like the death card is the most predominant card out of this love relationship reading, because whatever relationship you're in at the moment, and it's in a five, we've got a five and a six, so it feels like it's kind of in the halfway point of a relationship. It doesn't feel like it's the beginning, it doesn't feel like it's the end, it's kind of somewhere in the middle. This relationship is going to be tested and questioned and transformed, because I feel like you've changed. You've changed, Aquarius, going through this huge internal process. You can see in the death card there's the river Styx in the background, and the river Styx is this kind of emotional threshold that once you step over that, you are now in Hades' realm, and Hades is over. Nothing can change Hades' rule. Once you've crossed that emotional threshold, you've changed. You're now no longer that person that you once were, And you can see the sun is rising in the background in the death card. There's a new beginning happening. But it's happening in a very, very deep, deep level inside of you. So with the Five of Swords coming in this relationship, this is presenting as you. It's being able to understand the limitations of. Oh, sorry, I just banged the microphone. Understanding the limitations of who you are and this relationship, and understanding kind of where you are at the moment, because I feel like you could be feeling a little bit limited in where you're at, a limited in bit, feeling a bit confined within a relationship. It might not necessarily be romantic because we have the Six of Pentacles. It could be around work or a parent or some sort of authority figure, like a boss, related to money and opportunities and the sense of security. Because it might be like you have changed, you've outgrown a situation, and because you are sort of bigger than this situation now, this situation's now going to feel small. Please excuse my dogs, they're having a bark in the background. So you can see again, like within the frame of the card, Arestus is the figure on the bottom there. This little figure I feel like is you, and this is again the sun god coming in, Apollo, the god of healing, of light, and he's coming in again. You know, the light is coming in, and he's showing you these five swords. The swords are the element of the mind, and saying, you know, there's only so much you can do within this relationship. You have choices, definitely have choices, but it is limited. It's able to understand your limitations within this, because the Six of Pentacles is like, I feel like the other person is, there's very much a power. It's interesting that there's one character on the ground and one character standing, and there's always one above the other. There's one in the Six of Pentacles. We have Daedalus kind of begging the king and accepting, not begging the king, but accepting a gift from the king. And in the Five of Swords, we see Arestus accepting advice from the from Apollo, the god of healing and light. So there's sort of an acceptance of the nature of a relationship. Perhaps it's accepting that it is what it is. Perhaps it's because it seems to be that there's something on offer here, and it's deciding whether to accept it or not. So the Six of Pentacles is all about, you know, the king is offering money, offering safety and security. He's a benefactor to Daedalus, the master craftsman. And so he's offering security, he's offering money, he's offering saying, I'll look after you. And so I feel like one person's kind of wanting security, one person's wanting it to be all nice and safe and cozy, and the other person, whilst it is, they want that too, they feel the limitations of it. And so it's this, whilst it is nice and secure and cozy, this relationship, and you know everything it could be provided for, there's this sense that you are changing. It can't remain in this state that it is in at the moment. It needs to change and evolve. And I think both characters on a level understand this, because they're both in the same position. You can see they're both feeling like they're owing or receiving, that they're reliant on someone, or someone's the provider and someone's the person that's relying on somebody else. But I feel like it's almost like both of you are, whilst it's a compatible relationship, you're both in the same position. And it might only be because death is underneath both of you. It might be it's not just one of you that's changing, it's the whole relationship that is changing. So whilst it feels like the relationship isn't necessarily growing at the moment, I feel like that is something that is impending and will occur in the near future, whatever this relationship is, because I feel like both parties are actually ready for it, which is good. So it kind of has got that thing that you could either grow together into something bigger, because you've been offered something bigger, you've been offered something more, there's something more on the table that's coming in for both of you for the relationship. So it's just a matter of whether you choose that. But I feel like it feels more like you are going to be going down the path together. I don't feel necessarily like there's a separation from this. And so I think it's just it's looking at, it doesn't feel like there's, for people who are single out there looking for love, I feel like it's almost understanding for you guys. Again, it's all about limitations and understanding that maybe what you've been expecting from a relationship is not what has been on offer, and that whilst that's the case at the moment, there is this real impending sense that that is about to change, like I just said. So it could be a sense of you kind of getting a little bit from someone, or you not getting what you want at the moment, that there's not a lot on offer at the moment, but it just definitely feels like it's on that real pivot point that things are about to change. Things are about to change. And it's because you're expanding and changing. So yeah, I think that we'll have some interesting energy for you guys next month. Now let's look at finances for you guys. We have the Nine of Swords as advice from Tarot, and we also have the Hermit card and the Six of Wands. So in terms of your finances, the Hermit card is actually Kronos. He's a Titan, and he's the father of Hades, actually. And it's interesting because with this Six of Pentacles energy, it can be like a benefactor or security. It can be that father-child relationship. It can be looking at your relationship with your father. And what does that have to do with your finances? Well, it's interesting. It's interesting. What I'm getting is that you could be a bit of stress about the fact that it is taking a bit longer than what you're thinking for things to come through on the financial and career front. But with the Six of Wands as the supporting energy, there's victory and success supporting this cycle. It's just going a bit longer than what you think. And with the Nine of Swords up as the advice from Tarot, Nine of Swords is that energy of feeling stressed and anxious, even depressed. It's about the unrealistic fears, waking up in the middle of the night and kind of having night sweats. It's about your mental health. And really, if that's the advice card from Tarot, it's saying there's absolutely nothing to worry about, that is unreal fears. Because with the energy of Kronos, the Hermit, it's feeling like a bit desolate. There's not a lot coming in at the moment. There's not a lot of opportunities. You're looking. You can see he's got his light trying to find the answers. And the thing with Kronos is that the lesson of Kronos is understanding that things do take time. Things happen in the right time. And so, yeah, the message is quite loud and clear that if it feels like there's nothing happening at the moment, which it looks like with the Hermit card, you are on the right path. You are breeding success. Success and money is there coming. It's just not coming as fast as you want. It might not be coming this month in the way that you're wanting it to come through, as fast as you want it to come through. But it's saying long term it is coming. So you're on the right path. It's just finding answers. It may not be it may not be quite as abundant as you're thinking or hoping, Taurus, but the good news is it's saying that, yeah, exactly, it's leading towards success. So not to worry about it. Really stop worrying about the fact that it's not happening as fast as you think, and that it might seem like money or income streams have slowed down a little bit for whatever reason. Don't worry about that if that's what's happening. Now, let's look at health. Ooh, Three of Cups, Six of Cups, the Star. Lovely. Six of Cups, the Star. The Three of Cups is advice from Tarot. And the Six of Cups is the situation. The Star is the supporting energy. Now, the supporting energy is if you are, if you are, this is kind of a bit obscure, but this is what I'm getting. If you're about to have an operation, something is about to be opened up, it's actually quite an auspicious time for that. It's actually a very good time for those sort of things to happen. Uh, I can see that there's a bit of cleansing out of an issue, that it might be cutting something that that I can just see that all those butterflies are coming out. So it could even be, I don't know, I'm getting things like parasites or growths that need to be cut out. It's that sort of thing that could be being removed. But yeah, definitely if you or anyone around you is going through an operation, there's renewed hope around that, and there's a wishes coming true. So that's really positive on that level. The Six of Cups as the presenting energies is pretty much saying, no, this is a good month to rest, to actually take some time out, to get outdoors. You can see this is Psyche sitting on the rock. She's sitting in the sun. She's holding her cup of love. She's really connected to nature. So things like herbal teas as well could be really good. But I'm just really getting that it's about slowing down with this Six of Cups, slowing down your energy, just taking some time out to really just look after yourself and rest and try and de-stress really with that Nine of Swords. Start getting yourself outdoors, doing some physical activity that's really going to help with stress levels. Is this Six of Cups energy? And let yourself dream a little bit this week, a little bit of daydreaming and fantasy. If things have been getting you down or things have been feeling a bit bleak, but in terms of your mental health, like let yourself dream and fantasize. That's just a nice thing to do. And the advice from Tarot is the Three of Cups. It's celebrate, enjoy a few, and let yourself have a few. It's like let yourself have a few nights off. Give yourself a little bit of time to really enjoy. Like you could go out and have a few parties, go out for dinner. Not all the time, don't push it too hard, but it's just saying Three of Cups. Spend some time with family and friends, really just having some good times together. I think that's going to be really good for your mental health. And watch what liquids you're putting into your body. Make sure that the cup, what you're drinking in, is actually not saying not to drink, because it's not saying that. It's saying just when you are, just make sure it's feeling good, that everything that you're putting inside your body is actually something to celebrate and feel good about. So, and I think there will be celebrations around your health. I mean, it's all really, really positive this month, Taurus. So I just think the only thing that would be is to take some time out from stress, try and de-stress a little bit from that, any kind of career or finance situation that might be stressing you out. Now, message from the soul. Let's have a look and see what we've got. The Knight of Swords and the Nine of Cups. Now, again, we've got celebrations with the Nine of Cups, celebrations in love, along with the Three of Cups. So the message, the soul is really saying spend some time with family and friends and people that you actually really, really like, and loved ones or someone that you love, and just really appreciate. There's a sense of gratitude, but sharing the love and the laughter, laughing actually could be really good for you this week, Taurus. So, yep, sharing the love and just enjoying where you're at the moment. Because the Knight of Swords is very fast moving energy. So the overriding energy is there's going to be some disruptive, quick changes, some very fast changes going on, especially in relation to your relationships, in relating to love. So hold on for the ride, because the energy of the Knight of Swords is really about being able to, it's mercurial. It doesn't necessarily mean bad changes just because they're fast and sudden and disruptive. They could actually be amazing and great. but it's just a matter of being able to go with that flow and go with it. And the fact that it's being supported by the Nine of Cups seems like it is really, really positive energy. So I feel like there could be things could, that sense that things aren't moving with that relationship, the Six of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. That could there's definitely things that are shifting and could shift quite quickly this month, sorry, Taurus. So I think there's a sense of unpredictability around it. There's a very much a sense of, yeah, you feel like it's a bit like the calm before the storm, that everything might seem like it's not going anywhere, there's no movement, and then suddenly, bang, everything changes. So it's going to be a little bit of an unpredictable month. Now, looking at the angel cards, we've got a year from now, and the crystal healing cards, we have Emerald and Compassion. Now, a year from now, again, it's funny with the Hermit, we had that it's going to take, there is a cyclical nature about this, and it's going to take longer than what you thought, and that's what we're getting. It's a year. This is going to take a year to really be where you want to be. So in terms of your finances and your career, but things are going to start moving pretty quickly. But I think that give yourself a year to really get to where you want. It doesn't mean it's going to take a year to see any progress. It doesn't mean that at all. It means in a year's time, you're going to look back and go, wow, that's amazing. We are where we wanted to be, if not further. So it's basically, the message is that even though it's a funny energy, but yeah, that sometimes that it feels like nothing's happening, but it definitely is happening because you've got the Six of Wands underneath. So I think that year from now is definitely around your career and finances. And you can see the success. You can see there's a couple there celebrating, and that with the Knight of Swords, we can see two people. It's the twin energy charging off together, and the Six of Pentacles and the Five of Swords sort of feels like you're at a bit of a stale part of your relationship, but it's definitely gone past that and gone over a threshold where things have changed. And so I feel like you're just on the cusp of a lot of big changes coming up, but it's almost like you just need a bit of time to take some time out it's not quite ready to take off just yet. And with the Emerald card, we have the Compassion card, which promotes love and compassion, divine love and compassion, and assists in staying connected to the wisdom of the heart, which I think is important on this journey, because I think you're about to be taken on a bit of an interesting ride. And it's all around the heart chakra. And because I get this relationship that you're in with this person, it's great to be connected to the heart, because I feel like you both do love each other. You are very compatible with each other. And it's just a matter of, if you're connected to your heart and your compassion, then you'll be able to move forward together into something deeper, because it assists in creating intimacy. So if you're single, it also allows you to open up from that sort of area where you might have only reached a certain stage in a relationship and it's never gone further. There's this real sense that you're crossing a threshold now with relationships. So those relationships are going to suddenly change, and it's letting go of the old connections and superficial relationships. And so it's calling for a deeper level of compassion, that you can drop very deeply into your heart and awaken the true essence of who you truly are. And if you've been feeling a lack of love for yourself and the situations in your life, this is like a wonderful opportunity to expand your heart, and being guided and supported to awaken the compassion that lies within. And it's the only way to sort of move. It's sort of been called forward so that you can move forward, because I feel like it does feel like it's time to forgive a situation that you're in at the moment, because I feel like there's frustration around some things in your life at the moment, and especially when it comes to self-criticism or criticism. So just be gentle with yourself, and allow this beautiful, compassionate energy to guide you, because I feel like there's some big changes coming up, and in a year from now, I think your life is going to be very, very different. So, Taurus, that's it for this month. If you'd like to hear more, please subscribe, like, or leave a comment or share. And take care and see you next month. Bye.